Hypothetically, in the future, if my child comes up to me and says, "Papa, मुझे एक doctor बनना है," my response would be, "Not today, not in India, dear boy or girl." Being a loving father, I would allow them to choose whatever they want, but if they want to be a doctor, that would not be my first choice. Being a doctor used to be a noble dream of everybody. It still is, but what nobody tells you is the cost. Not just in money, but in time, in life, in experiences, and everything in general. Don't get me wrong, I love being a doctor, I love being a resident, I love working, I love seeing the patients. But would I want somebody that I love choose this branch, choose this profession? Probably not. And in this video, I'm going to be explaining to you why exactly I would avoid being a doctor in 2025 or maybe in the future, especially if you're from India. So it all starts when you have just cleared your 10th standard and everybody is asking you, what do you want to be? And then the pressure starts to add up. You don't see anything else apart from just 2-3 worlds or options in front of you. You see maybe engineering, you maybe see something related to arts, something related to commerce, and lastly, something related to the medical field. And somehow, for some reason, every year, more and more people are choosing the medical path. As we see the numbers grow in the NEET exam, the registrations go up, everyone is being crazy about becoming a doctor. More than ever, this country is driven by NEET aspirants, and never have there been so many people who want to take a seat in a medical education system. But do they actually know the reality, or are they just doing it because everybody is doing it? Anyways, just after you've cleared your 10th, you decide to take up the medical field. The next 2 years of your life are going to be literal hell. You're going to be sitting through the coaching classes, being taught the subjects which are not really that important when it comes to the actual medical field. For example, you'll be taught chemistry, you'll be taught physics. Till the basics, it's okay. But when will I ever really use gravitation when I am treating a patient of myocardial infarction? I won't. When will I ever use the kinetic equations when I am treating a patient of stroke? I won't. When will I use chemical equilibrium while doing an intervention in a patient? I won't. Half the things that you're going to be studying to become a doctor, you're going to be forgetting the minute you enter your medical profession. You'll be learning topmost useless things like anatomy of a cockroach and anatomy of a frog, to how angiosperms were formed, which are not really relevant to the field that you actually want to go into. Because you want to be a doctor and you're learning all of these nonsense which actually does not make sense. So the next 2 years, even though you like physics or not, even though you like chemistry or not, you will have to study them, which are going to be absolutely useless to you in the next year when you get into your medical field. So you have essentially wasted several months of your life learning something which you never really will use in your life. So that's time wasted which you could have spent easily doing something that you actually loved and that you actually enjoyed. Nextly, not just the studying part, but the pressure and the competition to crack the exam, which is extreme. It is literally extreme. This year's paper for NEET UG was extremely difficult. That's the review that I got. I did not get time to check the paper, neither do I remember anything from my NEET UG days. But from what I heard was that people were crying after coming out of the exam center. Do you ever want to do something in life where you're studying for 2 years and after those 2 years, you are giving a paper and then you end up crying? Imagine the mental pressure it must come on a student who has attempted his best but still not able to get what he wants. It creates immense mental pressure, peer pressure, unhealthy competition, and a very bad, unhealthy state of mind, which I would not want any student going through. There are much better things you can do in your life than to deal with such amount of stress at such a young age. Gone are the days when we used to go to war to fight. So we cannot quote the analogy that we were fine with stress back in the day. We were fine with infections and people dying at the age of 25 back in the day as well. But we are not that anymore. We have evolved, and so should our mentality. Now the next thing is that even if you have done well in your NEET UG examination, the rank comes and then you have to decide to go into the medical college. First things first, medical colleges are all over India. Okay, so depending on your rank, you might get somewhere which you really wanted or somewhere which you did not want. Most of the people will be allotted a medical college and not choose a medical college. So again, you are coming out of your comfort zone, going into a course. And that's honestly the only part where you will be actually growing in life. You will be doing things independently, you will be learning how the way of the world works, and you will be probably learning a lot of different subjects as well. So that's a positive thing. But apart from that, when you enter into the MBBS, it's a very difficult course. You have got so many different subjects, multiple exams to give, and every single week, your every other colleague from every other part is enjoying his life, you will be down there studying. You will be worrying about the next test which is going to come. You will be worrying about the next exam which you have to take, the next paper that you have complete, the next presentation which you have to do. So many things. And most of all, you will be worrying about the attendance. Somehow you will manage through these 4.5 years of MBBS, and then you will come into internship. You will feel exactly like you felt when you entered class 10th, and the pressure has started to build up on what kind of specialty you want. What kind of a doctor do you want to be now? And after 4.5 years of MBBS, when you start your internship, you will realize that none of the subjects you're going to the posting are actually interesting to you. You are not seeing a true passion for any one subject, but rather you are seeing a disinterest for many. It's very rare that people actually find a posting so interesting that they want to specialize in it. Mostly we go and eliminate every other specialty and then we end up choosing the thing that we actually kind of want. And that's not just a story of one person, but almost every other doctor that you meet in India. You go and ask your family physician, what do they want it to be and what did they end up becoming? So that's how it works, my friend. By the time you're out of MBBS, you're probably 22 or 23. Sometimes you're 24, 25 or 26, and that's okay. But the sad part is, my friends, unlike the other people that have started this journey with you in different courses, for example, engineering, commerce, arts, whatever it is, are now actually doing good as adults. थोड़ा कुछ तो कर रहे हैं यार वो, ठीक है. They have spent less years in training, they have worked less harder compared to you, but still they are earning good, they are going to good jobs, they have a role in society and they are fulfilling that role. Not just that, since you are trying out new jobs in the starting itself, you have an opportunity to explore and try out things more often. Whereas right now in MBBS, the only exposure that you're going to get is 1 year of internship. And then if you want to, then you can do some HOships here and there. But mostly people don't do that because we are already aging at a rapider rate without any source of income. Internship income is pathetic in India. It's literally, my income was 10,400 rupees working for 1 month. And that's crazy. Now it's 18,000 rupees per month. तो अगर आप देखो तो एक मजदूर भी शायद इससे ज़्यादा पैसे कमा लेता होगा, पर अब कुछ नहीं बोल सकते, जो है वो है. Meanwhile, some of your friends who are doing engineering are going to different cities. They are starting to live by their own, and some have even left the country for opportunities outside. And they are exploring the world in a new way. They are learning new things, learning new cultures, while you are right there worrying about your completion certificate from the PSM department of your college. So yes, that creates an additional stress and additional peer pressure in your mind, because not just that you are 23, 24, you have not started earning and you have not grown much in your own life. You are just an MBBS doctor is what is everybody going to call you. You're just an MBBS doctor and it's a plain MBBS which people like to call. MBBS होने के बाद competition बहुत ज़्यादा बढ़ जाता है. Since the government is continuously increasing the seats, every day I hear about new medical colleges opening up here and there. Just imagine the number of plain MBBS candidates that we're going to have in just the next 5 to 6 years. So obviously everybody is at the same level. So why would somebody prefer you than somebody else who is already taking a job? So there is a very big job crunch for MBBS students who will become MBBS doctors. And then comes the pressure of doing a specialization. So doing a specialization is a story in itself. First, you have to decide. Second, you have to prepare. And the preparation phase for NEET PG would be easily described 2 to 3 times more stressful, 2 to 3 times more difficult and more challenging than NEET UG. If you are struggling for your NEET UG, I'm betting that you will be struggling for your NEET PG as well, because it's a very difficult journey. Your syllabus is extreme, the pressure is extreme, and the people that you are competing with are all using the same resource. So the pressure of NEET PG comes. Mostly people take 1 to 2 drops for clearing this examination, and that's not the worst part. The worst part is what comes after you have cleared your PG exams. It's 24 to 36 hours of duties in your residency, like I am doing right now, without sleeping a lot. You are compromising on your health, you're compromising on your food, you're compromising on literally every single relation that your life has. You don't get to talk to family, you don't get to talk to friends, and slowly you get very much invested in your life only as a resident, and you become part of the hospital, you become part of the system, and you forget that you actually have a life outside. So that's PG summarized for you, and you have to study a lot. So it's not all bad though, it's really good at times. You meet new people, you meet new friends. It's very positive at times too, but looking at the outside perspective, comparing it to other fields, for example, my CA friend who is earning good, he's working max to max 15 hours, sometimes 16 hour shifts during a crunch. Sometimes he is just working 6 to 7 hours a day and he's doing good. So I'm just saying that looking from an outside perspective, you don't really get any time for yourself during your PG, and pairing that to other PGs outside around the world. One of my friends is in USA, he's doing his PG, he's doing his specialization. He's an engineer by the way, and he gets plenty of time off. So you get to live your life and then you get to do your work, so that feels kind of good. But here you don't have a life, you literally don't have a life, and for the first 2 years it's really hectic, and the third year you are spending studying. And the worst part is, if you make one mistake, you are termed as negligent, and that happens very frequently all across India. You can read the articles, you can read the newspapers. PG life mein at least the one good thing is that you are making new friends, meeting new people, becoming a better doctor, and most importantly you are earning. But depending on your college, sometimes your fees is like 15 times higher than your annual earning, so that also also happens in some colleges, but mostly that's the good part of it. While you are working this hard, you will see the other people around you start to get settled. Okay, start to get settled by means, I mean, they will find a city, they will find a partner that they love, they will probably plan their marriage out, they will probably explore new cities, new destinations, whatever it is, while you are still stuck there just trying to treat a patient basically. So when you see that, again you compare yourself with the people that are outside with you, that started this journey with you, and then you realize what are you doing with your life. You genuinely feel that, I sometimes feel that यार मैं कर क्या रहा हूँ. I mean, I do love my job. I'm saying it again, I do love my job. Sometimes मुझे लगता है मैं क्या कर रहा हूँ यार, मुझे और कुछ भी नहीं है क्या. This is like, do I not have a personality anymore? So time nahi milta hai, and that's the sad reality of it. So that's another reason why I would not want my children to become doctors, because throughout this medicine does not stop at PG, by the way. Okay, I'm getting to the next part of it. It continues through life, that you are continuously devoted towards your work first and then your life. Okay, kaise to bhi karke tumne PG nikal liya, and then again you are back at that 10th standard wala stage where people are expecting you to super specialize. Why? Because now you are a plain MD. That's right, you're a plain MD. You have not super specialized, and that means you're a plain MD. And with the number of seats increasing, plain MDs को भी job लगना मुश्किल हो रहा है. I have read somewhere that one fellow who was an MD, who was very talented, failed to get a job and finally applied as a CMO. So you can imagine the feeling that he must have. CMO basically MBBS post होती है, तो उसमें MD बैठे हुए थे क्योंकि कहीं और job नहीं थी. So that's the reality of it, my friends, that even after doing your MD, it's not guaranteed. And as far as the income perspective is taking, you can imagine anywhere from 1.5 lakh max to max all across India for a post MD starting person who is not doing an SRship, who is actually joining some good institute like a corporate institute or stuff. So 1.5 lakhs after working many hours, after tolerating unlimited amount of toxicity, after doing literally everything, like sacrificing your food, travel, everything, for what? For 1.5 lakhs a month. Do you really want to do that? And while you again compare yourself with other people, you will see that the amount of energy that you have invested versus the return that you are getting is exponentially low. ठीक है, versus if you had invested the same amount of energy in literally any field across the world, you would have been doing so much better financially, so much better mentally, everything would have been better. So that's the thing, that's a very disheartening part, that you are working so hard but still in this country you are very underpaid. Contrast strikingly to that to America. If you are working really hard, after your residency is over, you can literally make a good set of dollars for yourself. So that's why India में तो थोड़ा difficult है ये सब करना. After MD you still have to spend a lot of years training. So that brings me to the next part. While most of your peers from other fields are settled, you are still at the starting point, at the zero phase, at around the age of 29 or 30, and then you are starting to finally see what you have done. You have spent the last 10 years just continuously studying, just worrying about one exam to the next exam, to the one shift, to the another shift, to night shift, to giving around, to whatever it is. You're just constantly worrying. You have ignored your friends, you've ignored your relations, and you have not settled down yet. Earning के हिसाब से तो कुछ बोलूँगा ही नहीं मैं, वो कुछ की ही नहीं है. ठीक है, जो कुछ किया है वो खत्म हो गया है, वहीं पे उड़ गया है वो. So you feel sad, and then you decide, okay, I'm gonna start up, and then you enter the market and you see a lot of different people who are competing for the same things. Not just you guys, but from people from other specialties like Ayurveda, homeopathy. Everybody is targeting the same patient base, and then you get to realize, यार मैंने ये सब क्यों किया? So that's the thing, my friends, that there is a lot of competition over here. Sure, there are competition in almost every other field, but यहाँ पे the amount of sacrifice that you're doing, you should not face that much competition. If you want to decide to join a government job, then again you have to give an examination, and then the seats are less, and you know the entire process begins again. So that's the issue currently that we are facing right now. As India is growing, I don't see a better future ahead for doctors. It's surely going to be on a decline in the next few years. You remember what happened to engineering? Those of us born in the 2000s will know that जब हम बच्चे थे हमको सब लोग बोलते थे कुछ नहीं बन रहा तो इंजीनियर बन जाओ. ठीक है, इंजीनियरिंग बनोगे तो लाइफ सेट है, सब लोग यही बोलते थे, एंड यही हमारा ट्रेंड था. उसके कारण इतने सारे इंजीनियर्स बन गए कि इन दी एंड इंजीनियरिंग जो है उसकी वैल्यू ही कम हो गई. आई एम अफ्रेड दैट्स व्हाट्स गोना हैपन टू डॉक्टर्स एज वेल. जिस रेट से डॉक्टर्स प्रोड्यूस हो रहे हैं इस कंट्री में, उस रेट से उसी प्रोफेशन का चार्म और उसी प्रोफेशन का एम्प्लॉयमेंट रेट गिरने वाला है. बिकॉज देयर आर ओनली सो मेनी पेशेंट्स इन अ कंट्री, देयर आर ओनली सो मेनी प्लेसेस दैट यू कैन स्टे एज अ डॉक्टर, बिकॉज डॉक्टर बनने के बाद तुमको ऐसा तो नहीं है ना कि तुम एकदम गाँव में जाके अपना क्लिनिक खोलोगे. यू वांट टू हैव सम बेसिक कम्युनिटीज, यू वांट टू गेट ब्लिंकिट डिलीवर्ड in 8 minutes, right? So that's not possible if you live in rural India. But if you want to, then go for it. But the worst part, I think, with respect to being a doctor is that if you join big corporate hospitals, that's what usually the end goal is of every doctor. They join a good corporate hospital and they start seeing patients. You are just used as a money-making tool for mostly corporate hospitals. That's the sad reality. Instead of treating patients, you are trying to generate leads, you are trying to generate income. So you are just another employee in the system. That's the thing. So would I want my children to be doctors in this country at this moment or in the future? Probably not. Would I do it again? Probably. There is a big probability over here. Sure, the rewards are uncomparable. Like I've already made a video talking about why this profession can be so goated sometimes. Okay? If you see the sacrifice that you're doing for that, it's very less. So the amount of sacrifice that you do is truly incredible. I salute all the doctors who are working out there. I know what you've been through, and since I'm going through the same thing, I know the pressure that you have dealt with to go and become a specialist. Don't let this video demotivate you. ऐसा बोल के पूरा demotivating वीडियो डाल दिया है मैंने. But rather consider this as a truthful video on the internet that you will see that will actually show you the reality. मैं एक short भी बना सकता हूँ जिसमें एकदम crazy सा edit लगा के एकदम motivation भर दूँ तुम में, but वो करके मुझे कुछ नहीं मिलेगा. Views तो ऐसे भी मिल रहे हैं मेरे videos को, ठीक है. Basically just wanted to guide you as an elder brother who is in this field, and since my younger brother has just done his 12th and his JEE. I was so wrong when I asked him that you can take up NEET. So I'm very happy that he did not listen to me. And I know that a lot of you guys watching are medical students and NEET aspirants. Don't let this demotivate you. But this is just the truth. So अब truth समझ गए तो don't have any big higher expectations from the future. If you have expectations, that's when you will see a lot of problems. So this is the truth about the medical system in India at the moment. It's a sad reality, to be honest. If you ask any doctor, they will tell you not to be a doctor. So gradually I'm evolving into that person. But anyways, yeah. अब तुम लोग बोलोगे यार तुम्हें टाइम कैसे मिल रहा है ये सब वीडियोस बनाने का. So I am currently posted in a relatively chill unit. बोल दिया है मैंने, तो शायद कॉल आ जाए कि आ जाओ काम के लिए, which allows me at least 1 to 2 hours of break in every 24 hours. So in these 2 hours I'm deciding to make a video, and I hope that you enjoy the video. If you did, please make sure to hit the like button, and if you felt that this video resonated with you, please do share it on all your social media platforms. कहीं पर भी शेयर करो. Instagram पे अपने दोस्त को भेजो, WhatsApp पे भेजो, Twitter पे भेजो, YouTube पे पोस्ट भेज दो. Go for it. If you liked it, do let me know in the comments below. Your friendly neighborhood resident, Dr. Anuj Pachhel, first year internal medicine PG at GMC Nagpur. I'll see you in the next one.